Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire. And Albert, I've not even started yet again, he's in with a signal. Does sound pretty good. Could be a bit of tin. Could be a coin as well though. So we'll keep our eye on that one in a second. But just the two of us for today. Albert on the Garrett AT Pro International. Me on my beloved XP Deus 2. I've gone with sensitive full tones, program 3 for the moment. I might well switch as I get down the field. The only problem is there's a great big electric pylon going right across this field and it's giving off huge amounts of interference. So I may well flip to my custom program in a moment. As you can see, it's a barley stubble field. It's been harvested about 6 or 8 weeks ago. But we haven't been out on it yet, so this is a first on this field this year, or certainly since the springtime. At the far end of this field is where Fletch got himself a big silver Brazilian coin, if anyone remembers that one. Massive coin, weighed like an ounce, 28 grams, solid silver, and it dated from the latter part of the 19th century. How on earth a coin from Brazil ends up in Perthshire in the 1870s or 1880s, I've got no idea. But let's go and have a hunt and see what we can find. There's Albert's find. It's a big bit of copper alloy sort of stuff. Find lots of these tractor related, I'm going to put it down as. But what I'm going to do for a change, normally I edit out all the junk that I find, because a lot of people are like, how come you find such good things? You always find loads of good stuff. Trust me, we find some huge amounts of crap in order to find the good stuff. And in some occasions I edit together 2 days worth of detecting just to make a 20-minute video. So what I'm going to do, make it a wee bit different. I'm just going to very, very briefly show you every single signal, every single find that I get, along with the good ones. Hopefully there are good ones. Okay, let's go. Well, straight in with a find. An 82, 83, very solid signal, about 6-8 inches down, and we've got a knob. Tractor related, I'm guessing, some sort of copper alloy. You can see where it's been countersunk and fitted, probably to wood. A 67. Quite a good solid signal, to be honest. I probably expected a bit of lead, but it's just a little fragment of copper sheet, copper alloy. Phew, that was a deep one. 87 and about 12 inches down, and I've got this. Now, is it a thing or is it junk? Kind of looks like it could be decorated. It's got a hole in it. It's got 2 holes in it. Might be like a bit of a badge or some sort of fitting for a harness maybe, but I think it's interesting rather than total junk. This is the back, I do believe, which means this is the front. Yeah, it's definitely some sort of decorated fitting or boss. Okay, so that's the back. You can see clearly 2 holes where it's been mounted, and on the other side, this $1 million question is, what is it? Now, it could be off a piece of furniture, or it could be off of a leather decoration on a horse, like a saddle or a harness boss or such like. It doesn't look particularly old. The holes are quite well drilled and it's pressed metal, so I'm going to guess it's Victorian in date, which probably puts it from the late 1830s through to about 1901. So we moved into another field, which is barley stubble. It's produced a few hammered coins. It's produced a little lead figurine, which I believe is Roman. So let's see what else we can find. The dreaded whiskey bottle top came in at 87. You can just make out the word distillery around that edge, and it looks like it's got a horse in the centre. Not sure which distillery that is. There's a bit of writing below it, but too far gone. Damn it, thought that was going to be something good. 84, 85, thought that was going to be a coin. And it is another whiskey bottle top, crimped whiskey bottle top. Honestly, did these people do any farming, or were they just drinking all the time? A 97 sounded like it was too good to be true, and it's another fragment of aluminium. And now we have a piece of copper pipe. Came through 79.80. More junk. And you've guessed it, more aluminum. More junk. Oh, dropped it. Persistence pays off. Well, kind of. A stonking 87, 88 ear blowing signal, and it was pretty deep, about 9 inches down, and I think that is a handle for a knife or a spoon or a bit of cutlery. It may well be a decorated handle, it may be silver plate, and it definitely looks like there's a bit of decoration on it, so I'm going to give it a little clean up off camera and get back to you. Well, there we go, that's as good as I can get it. It looks like a handle. You can see this bit here is iron. This looks like it's been silver plated, but it could even be lead, but I think it's silver plate, so it's pretty flaky. You can see bits looking ready to fall off it, but date wise I reckon probably going to be Victorian, so I'd say 1830s to 1900, but very heavy. And yeah, like I say, I think it's a handle for either a spoon or a fork or a knife or a piece of cutlery of some description. We've got a big lump of lead this time. Well, a strip of lead. It's like sheeting lead, probably a offcut from a roof. 5758 produces the dreaded tinfoil. A very deep hole produces another piece of aluminium. This one came through at an 8687, which definitely sounds like a coin. I've said that before. Ah, that is not a coin. That is a thing. What is that? Some sort of tap or handle or... Damn. Oh well, it's copper alloy, and it is what we call in the business junk. And an 86 produces, you guessed it, another piece of aluminium. Another signal and a little bit more junk. A bit of old fencing wire. 61, 64, and I wondered why it's taken so long. We have got a button. A button, probably after junk. This is the most common find that you get. A 4-holed button. Don't see any writing on it. No, just a plain one. So probably going to be 1850 to 1950. 6570 produces another piece of copper pipe. Despite there being a big iron target in the same hole, the XP DS2 has picked out this. Now initially I thought it's just a piece of junk. Well, technically it is a piece of junk. However, if you look closely, that is a foot, and that is another foot. This is the bottom of a toy soldier, made of lead, probably going to be from the 1900s to 1950s or thereabouts. A lead toy soldier, or what is left of him. Another bit of copper pipe, 86 to 89, and just a few inches under the surface. Having just said I was surprised I've only had the one button, although I suppose it could be a washer. But 61 produces either a copper alloy washer or a copper alloy button. I was expecting a button this time, and we've got either a thimble for a very skinny person's finger, or it's probably a dust cap off a tyre valve. An ear blowing 91 produces what I initially thought was possibly a weight, but I believe, well, is it or is it not? I thought maybe it's a cap for a fuel tank, but there's no thread and I can't get all this mud out, but I don't think there's a, oh no there is, there's a loop there. There is a loop there, and you know, it's not perfectly made. See how it's kind of off centre? So what do you reckon to that? Is it a plug? It might just be a plug, I suppose, off an old bathtub. But it's copper alloy. It is very, very heavy, probably weighs a couple of ounces. So let me know in the comments below. An 88, and you guessed it, more aluminium. Unusual for me because I don't often get filled with big iron, but I've got an iron donut. I'm guessing it's from the Iron Age. Don't know, big iron washer, or big something or other off a plough. I've switched over to the Deep HC program because I'm in the area of the field that historically has produced Bronze Age axe heads and a few spears as well back in the 1900s. So I thought, let's get a bit more depth, but got fooled with this one. 86 ear blowing signal, weighs about a pound or 454 grams if you're on the metric scale. Well, I did tell you I would show you every single signal. I'm sure some of you are probably getting fed up already, thinking, my God, does this guy just keep going? Another piece of aluminium, and this is detecting for you. It's not all hammered coins and gold and all the rest of it. You've got to put in the hard work. But my theory always is, the more you go without a good find, the more likelihood you are that your next signal is going to be good. 66 to 68 produces this, a little flat piece of lead. 86 to 88, and we've got another little piece of copper pipe, because you can never have enough copper pipe. Well folks, we might have just done it. We might finally have something decent, maybe. 88, 89, a little bit high for a coin. Normally they're about 84, 86, but it is very long stubble here, and what I do is I kick the stubble off with my foot to check the target, and as I have done so, right there is possibly a coin. And you know what it is? It is a coin. It's crusty. It's probably, oh, it's not. I was going to say it looks Georgian, but it's not. It's gorgeous George V. And the sun has just popped out to show him in all his glory. Well, here he is, Georgius V, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. And I just managed to get the date clean enough, 1914, so the outbreak of the First World War, which was between George V of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha and his cousin, who was Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany. So very much a family affair. And this is 1 penny from George V. And he ruled from 1910 until 1926 or 27. He had an older brother, Albert Victor, who died in the 1890s unexpectedly. And he was the one that is often considered to have been Jack the Ripper in London. So George V went on to become king and also to marry his dead brother's fiancée, Mary of Teck, keeping it in the family. George V died in his bed, 1926, euthanized by his own doctor. So there we go. Now, not the best of coins, and that's taken a lot of effort, as you've seen, to find that. I would say that's my one and only good find. Most people would think, what a waste of time that is. But you don't get into metal detecting to get rich. You come out, you have low expectations, and you get excited about finding a coin that's barely over 100 years old, because this coin has probably not been in someone's hand for the best part of 100 years. So that is what interests me about metal detecting. A fantastic hobby and a good find at last. I thought 2 coins back to back might have been a bit of a struggle, but 90, 91, and that is a bottle cap, or the cap off a flask. I think it's pewter, could be lead, I think it's probably pewter. A banging 88, you can see there's a bit of thread on it, and I think that is possibly a bit of a spark plug or some sort of tractor related something or other. Nearly at the edge of the field, and we get some sort of energy drink. What's that? Bottle, whiskey bottle top, number 3, number 4. It's a small one, a little sort of hip flask size, but yet another example of people drinking on the job. I'm getting ever closer to an old ruined mill that dates to the 17 into the 1800s, and this is a copper nail, 82, 83. What a nightmare. I thought I had a coin, just saw the edge of it. Came through 82, 83, but you can see there 2 holes in the middle. It's the back of a button, probably a military button. It would have had a domed front on it with some sort of design on that. I'll have a wee hunt and see if I can find the other half, but it's probably going to be sometime early 1900s to Second World War, 1945, 1950 kind of period. Turned the detector off for a second there because I think I've got coin number 2. 84, 85. Quite an iron tone to it, but that's because there's actually still iron down the hole. I'm very close to that old mill that I told you about. I just broke this clod up and this fell out. I wasn't really expecting a coin, if I'm honest, because of the iron tone in the background. I thought it was going to be big iron. Who have we got? Maybe Victoria? It is definitely Victoria. It's well worn. You can just see her bust looking to the left hand side if I just turn that in the light. So she ruled from, I think it was 1837 until 1901, 63 years and 7 months or something like that. And until Queen Elizabeth II, she was the longest reigning monarch in British history. Okay, so a wee catch up with Albert, and this is his best finds. He's got a penny of Victoria. It's very smooth, pretty well worn. I've had the bendy thumb on all of his coins to bring them back to life. You can see the young head looking to the left, and on the back we've got a date of 1871, 1 penny. Then he's got another one which I thought initially was going to be a George III because it's got that sort of look and shape to it, but on the reverse there you can see Britannia seated, which you'll also see on the coin side by side, which tells you it's similar in era. And then, more importantly, we just uncovered the word Regina, R-E-G-I-N-A, which means queen. So that means that also has to be Victoria, not Elizabeth, Victoria. So you can see what a difference. Same field, same coin, just a few feet apart or within a few metres of one another, and look at the difference in corrosion. Then he's got himself 3 buttons, all from a similar sort of period. One's got gold gild on it. They're all from the sort of 1700s, but star of the show, he's got himself this, which is a Turner. There, you can just see it there. You can see a flat line at the top, the circular shape there of a thistle, and then the leaves going up the side. I'll get them to put this into olive oil to try and bring up some of the colour, some of the patination. But that is a Turner, which is a 2 pence, a copper 2 pence, and dates to the reign of Charles I or Charles II. So that's going to put it 1625 to 49 when Charles I lost his head, and his son was restored 1660 and ruled until 1685. We've moved into a new field. This is a potato field which has been harvested which makes for good metal detecting, because the stubble field, honestly, trying to push through freshly cut stubble is not easy. And straight in with a signal, 72, produces what I thought might be a turner, a Scottish 2p like Albert got. However, on this side you can clearly see the 4 holes, so it's a button. It's a button probably from the 17, 18 into the 1900s. Well, I can't say I've had one of these before. Macu Shield, I think that says, Macushhield. Contains something, not sure what, probably paracetamol. I'm guessing the farmer had a bad back. We've got another coin, 82 it came up as. Not a particularly great signal until it came out the hole. I've given it a wee rub-a-dub, and you can quite clearly see Victoria, so it's Queen Victoria. And on the other side, I've just managed to clean off the date at the bottom, which is not 1881 as I first thought, it's 1880. We go from a coin right there of Queen Victoria to another signal right here, which sounds almost identical, and uncover another piece of aluminium. Yet another bit of aluminium. Tin can was right there, 74 give or take. Right here I got a 70, 71, and this is the reason why you always dig. That is another turner. Another Scottish 2p. Unfortunately though, it is blank, I think. You can just make out a bit of a line around the edge. Might dry out a little bit and come good, but look how thin it is. Paper thin. Copper 2p. Probably from either the reign of Charles I or Charles II, just like Albert's, but you can see how badly they tend to hold up in Scottish soil because they're copper. A weird ear-blowing 99, and look at this here, what is that with all the dots in it? It is, I don't know, what is it? Bit off a watering can? Or something else. 8081 produces, you've guessed it, another whiskey bottle lid. 65 to 70, and it's another bit of a whiskey bottle lid. An 81, sorry no it wasn't, it was an 87, 88. I thought it was stick on for a coin. I've unfortunately managed to hit it with a spade. I just broke that edge. That was me, silly man. But you can see it's got like a sort of bit of a groove. I wouldn't call it a thread, probably just more to hold it in to something rather than to screw it in, because it's got a rounded end. I think it might be a leather boss for a horse, for a big Clydesdale that would have pulled the plough. So not great, but not awful. Certainly it's not a whiskey bottle lid. And date wise, probably going to be 1850, 1900s. Albert's got a find. He's got an ancient relic, a lead seal apparently, and it is a lead seal. R&A 230 you got on this side. Yes, exactly the same as the one you got before, Albert. Yep, it's a Dutch. It's from the Netherlands, and you can see there the shield with the little lion in it with a crown above it, which tells you that this is from the Netherlands. And this is another flak seal, I believe. R&A 230. Brilliant, probably dates to the 17 into the beginning of the 1800s. Well done, Albert. Well, anything Albert can do, I can do as well. It's a lead seal. I'm only about 15 feet away from him where he got his, and unfortunately though mine is plain, or at least it's worn away. This one is an 80, and I've got myself another wee knob. Would have been again attached to something, probably wood, and I'm guessing probably tractor or farm related. I got an ear blowing 86, and look at the size of that for a musket ball. That is a whopper, an absolute whopper. Look at the scratches on it as well where it's hit the ground or picked them up passing through the barrel. That is Whew, that's got to be one of the biggest musket balls I've ever found. That is huge. Imagine that hitting you at 1,000 feet per second. My God. Right, Albert's got himself a wee clod shot. He's fairly confident he's got a coin.
Yeah,
well, he says not so much now, so... What's that? Oh, that's a root. Oh, it's not a coin, it's another wee knob. And I should also say, this massive musket ball, I mean, that is an absolute beauty. I love musket balls, but that one especially is a cracker, and that will be probably, I would think, from the 17 or 1800s, give or take, but it could be a bit earlier. Well done to the FMF coil on the old XP Deus 2 there. That was a deep one. That one, I thought, it was a real faint signal, and it's just produced that right at about 12 inches. So well done, first of all, for it picking it up. So let's do the reveal, get you into the sunlight a bit, see if we can peel that off. Might be pretty. Oh no, it's not bad. It's going to be another Victoria maybe, is it? There's Britannia. Putting more mud on it than getting off. There we go, 1 penny. Have we got a date? 1905. And here it is, 1 penny, 1905. And on the other side, there he is. Dirty Bertie, Edward VII, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. Beautiful coin. Just try to keep you out the wind, but also in the light, which is easier said than done. Beautiful. Really happy with that. Edward VII, as I said. Well, I just said he's not that common, and then we go and find a coin each of them 5 minutes apart. But that is brilliant. You see, perseverance pays off. Really slow start, and that is the thing about metal detecting. You just got to keep going at it. You need an element of luck, but ultimately you've got to cover the miles. We've been detecting now for about 6 hours, so all these signals that I've had, you've seen every single painful one of them, and some really good ones too. Brilliant, really happy with that. And a 74 produces another sort of threaded, maybe a tyre valve, or maybe a bit of a spark plug, or something farm related, copper alloy. I don't know, I just keep saying to Bert that one of us is surely going to get a bit of silver for the amount of coins and signals that we're getting. A belting 87, 88 has produced, I think, coin number, I'm losing track now. Now it's got that red colour to it, which I think means it's going to be Elizabeth II, because in our soil here, quite often these coins go red. I expected Elizabeth II, but it's not, it's her father, George the 6th, or was it the 7th? George the 6th. And this is a threepence, a 3p, and on the reverse you can see the flower that looks a bit like a daffodil, which is a sea thrift. And I can't tell if it's 1947 or 1942. Either way, it's a threepence. I think it's 47, the year that India gained its independence. Although I think it still says Imp, Emperor of India, there at the back. Thought I might have had another coin there, but it's some sort of tractory type fitting, like a, I don't know, like a threaded something or other. But gave me a fright. I thought I had a coin. It came through at 74. It's round. I don't think it's a coin though. Oh, it's not even a button. It's a thing. Damn, some sort of something farm related, I'm guessing. I told you I was hoping for silver. 94, ear blowing signal. Unfortunately, it's only silver in colour, stainless steel, a bit of a latch, probably off a tractor. I reckon I've got a Stonewall coin here, 86. Albert's come to give his opinion. He's smiling away. He says it's a coin as well. Right, let's see if I'm going to embarrass myself or not. We're out the hole, second spadeful. Do you see what I see, Mr. Albert? Right there is... it looks like a penny to me. Right, it's going to need a bit of... oh, there's Britannia. 19 something. 19 something. 18 possibly. I'm going to guess it's going to be... oh, put it in the actual screen so you can see. I'm going to guess that that's possibly 1918, which might be Gorgeous George, George V. It is Big Gorgeous George, George V. It's really crusty on this side, so it's... I can never remember. Does that mean it's been face down or face up? Face up, I think. So that's basically got all the chemicals, all the treatments and sprays that have gone on the field over the years. And on the other side, look at the difference. And the date is 1919. It's 1 penny of George V. Not quite as crisp a signal as the last one, but 86, 87, it could well be another penny. I'm not so sure. It was pretty shallow and I would have expected a better signal, unless of course it was on its edge. I think we might have... we do. We've got a clod shot for you. Let me just tuck that probe under my knee. Nothing in there. Ah, that is not a coin. That is not a coin. That is definitely not a coin. That is a thing. It's another tractory related something or other. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what a fitting way to end today's dig. A 69, and it is a piece of aluminium or foil, one or the other, very thin. But hopefully you've enjoyed that. That was a little taster of an average, that was almost 6 hours we've done. Almost 6 hours of detecting, and it gives you an idea of how much digging is involved, and that's just for me, never mind what Albert's dug. Probably the same and more again, just to stitch together a little bit of video. But as I say, hopefully you've enjoyed that, everything and anything that we've discovered. And if you like what you see and you haven't already, then subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the notifications, and hopefully we'll see you again on the next dig. Thanks for watching.